The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-Il is dead at age 69. We heard about this, Lewis, last night. He was, of course, known as the incredibly humanitarian, kind, and resourceful leader, Kim Jong-il. No, that's not him, actually. That's a different guy.
Is it just me, or is the sun shining a little bit brighter today, Dave?
Well, you know, it's interesting because now the question is what will happen next, right? There was this special broadcast from the North Korean capital. State media said that Kim Jong-il died of a heart attack during a train ride, and it was due to a great mental and physical strain on December 17th during a, quote, high-intensity field inspection. The autopsy was done, and it's said to have fully confirmed the diagnosis. What do you think of that? Do you believe? I just don't believe anything we're told.
Some type of heart attack seems pretty reasonable.
He is believed to have suffered a stroke in 2008, and he appeared pretty spry and vigorous in different photos that were posted. But as we know, it's very hard to know a lot of times what is the real date of some of these pictures, as you know, Lewis.
Right. He there were some photos where he also looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, he was believed to have diabetes and heart disease. There's a conflicting report, though, that Kim Jong-il died while wrestling Bigfoot after competing in a triathlon. That hasn't yet been confirmed. Conflicting reports of really what caused the death.
I'm sure something like that will probably be in the history books there.
Donald Trump now considering a run for president in North Korea, and surprisingly, birther Queen Orly Tates saying Trump's eligible. She saw the birth certificate, and she's happy with it.
Good.
So,
I mean, if you have her blessing, then all is well.
And then you're in great shape, absolutely. Millions of North Koreans were allegedly, according to state media, engulfed in indescribable sadness. And people were weeping openly on the streets in Pyongyang. There were a number of fears that started right away about what's going to happen next. Of course, the 20-something-year-old son of Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-Un, now expected to take the reins, but formally took over, really, but it wasn't clear whether Kim Jong-il was still in power. Also, people saying, it actually appears that Kim Jong-un's uncle is really going to be the guy in charge now. So it's still unclear what the repercussions are going to be, is it not?
Right. And, how crazy are the people who are in power now? I mean, are his kids as jaded as the North Korean people? Or
it's interesting. I was watching different reports, and somebody pointed out, well, Kim Jong-un is a fan of Hollywood movies. He's a fan of Michael Jordan, and he's a fan of, I don't know what musical artist. But at the same time, Kim Jong-il he was a big fan of cognac, and he had some Western tastes as well. It wasn't an indication that he was any more sane or reasonable.
Right. I mean, I'd like to think that because of the internet and because of the media that Kim Jong-un had access to, that he might be a bit more open-minded and, hopefully open things up in North Korea. But
my thought wasn't that. My thought was that if diplomatic elements around the world were kind of preparing for this moment, they would have been well advised to be discreetly contacting Kim Jong-un to try to lay the groundwork for a more reasonable situation politically and humanitarian, as far as humanitarian values go, upon the formal succession and disappearance or passing away of Kim Jong-il. It's very hard to say whether that would even be possible. I mean, we have to assume intelligence departments can make that type of outreach, but politically it's hard to know whether you could really set up any groundwork for a more reasonable dictator in North Korea while Kim Jong-il is still alive. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, think about it from the point of view of Kim Jong-un. I mean, he's pretty much set. He has everything he needs, everything he wants, and if that's all he cares about, then outside interests are of no concern to him.
Yeah, maybe, but
if he cares about, we don't know if he cares about the people of the country.
The thing is, Kim Jong-un studied in, I believe it was Switzerland. He definitely could not have just been completely inoculated from hearing opinion and discussions about outside views of North Korea. You would hope that he was not so completely brainwashed by the time he went to school in Switzerland that he would be open to logic and reason in some way. But at the same time, kids by the time they're 5 are already basically brainwashed in many cases in North Korea. So I may be a little ambitious in that idea.
No, I think just the opportunity to leave the country and see the world in reality is a good thing.
It can't be possibly negative unless you're so brainwashed going into those situations that seeing those things only makes you believe more strongly that everything that differs from what you've been brainwashed with is fake propaganda.
I think you'd have to be a pretty big idiot to think that,
Or
after seeing it firsthand.
Or just incredibly brainwashed.
It would have to be quite the indoctrination. Yeah. To see that there are countries where people are, have food and things like that.
Well, with the exception of the Kim Jong family in North Korea, there's actually very little income disparity in North Korea.
Yeah, good point.